All right, what's going on, Chiefs Kingdom? Welcome back to the KC Sports Report. Michael Darcy, your host here as always, and today I'm going to break down the Kansas City Chiefs releasing veteran linebacker Anthony Hitchens. So the Chiefs are deciding to part ways with the longtime Chiefs linebacker Anthony Hitchens. Hitchens was signed in 2018 to a 5-year, $45 million contract. He ended up playing 4 years in Kansas City, and the Chiefs decided after 4 years that it would be in the best interest of the team to move on. And with this move, with the release of Anthony Hitchens, the Chiefs save $8.4 million in cap space. Now, I love Anthony Hitchens. I thought he played some pretty good football in Kansas City, but we needed this cap space. We needed this cap space badly. And, it sucks because I thought that Anthony Hitchens was a quality producer on this team. I think he was a big part of the defensive turnaround, but it just didn't make sense financially to bring him back. There was a lot of speculation last year whether or not he was going to come back. And they brought him back in 2021 after drafting Nick Bolton. Willie Gay got a bigger role, and he just didn't really fit. He was taking a lot of snaps away from Nick Bolton, and it just didn't look that good. Anthony Hitchens, he's getting up there in age, and he just didn't have the athleticism to kind of keep up in coverage. And that really kind of was his downfall. He still has the brain. He's still a really smart linebacker, but the body's not there. I think that he's really sharp mentally. He's a pretty good Mike. He called the plays pretty well, but it was pretty evident that he just didn't have the athleticism to keep up. Now, with this move, although it does suck because I love Anthony Hitchens, the Chiefs are going to have this money, this $8.4 million, to do whatever they want with. Orlando Brown Jr.'s contract is going to be on the table. They might franchise tag him, honestly. Tyrann Mathieu is a guy that could get an extension with that cap space now freed up. But this move was not surprising. I expected the Chiefs to cut Anthony Hitchens, and I expect them to cut Frank Clark. Now, they're not going to cut Frank Clark until after June 1st because I believe they save more money then. But be on the lookout for a lot of these kind of moves. Anthony Hitchens won over a lot of guys in that locker room. He was a pretty popular dude. But I think the writing was kind of on the wall. It just didn't make sense to bring back a guy that really didn't have it athletically anymore. And he was taking snaps away from a guy that legitimately had a shot to be Defensive Rookie of the Year. That's how good Nick Bolton was, and he wasn't even a starter. If they gave Nick Bolton the amount of snaps that Anthony Hitchens took from him, he very well could have been Defensive Rookie of the Year. That's how highly I think of Nick Bolton. But I want to stress that I think Anthony Hitchens' time in Kansas City was a positive experience. Now, you might have overpaid for him. I think that's a legitimate concern or a legitimate argument. But I think you got to look at it like this. In 2018, the Chiefs had so much money in cap space. I remember that year they signed Anthony Hitchens to a big-time contract. They gave Sammy Watkins $16 million a year. They signed Chad Henne to a pretty big contract, obviously as a backup. But they had money to throw around in 2018. Now, obviously, the circumstances are a lot different right now. But at the time, it didn't seem like a bad signing. And I still don't think this was a bad signing. He was a key contributor on a team that won the Super Bowl. He was a valuable piece. There's no part of me that regrets signing Anthony Hitchens. He was a very good linebacker in 2018, 19, and 20. He just wasn't that good this year. And, I think that he wasn't the elite linebacker that a lot of Chiefs fans thought that they were going to get. But that was kind of an unrealistic expectation. He wasn't really elite in Dallas, and we just kind of brought him in to be the play caller of our defense, at least from the linebacker. And I thought he did that job up until this year pretty well. He was a guy that, wasn't really ever great in coverage, but he really did a pretty good job of, kind of keeping the linebackers intact. Now, and a lot of people are going to say, oh, the Chiefs never really stopped the run. That's a fair concern. But this Chiefs team with that defense, I would rank it Tyrann Mathieu or Chris Jones, Tyrann Mathieu, and Anthony Hitchens was number 3. That's how big I thought of him, at least in 19 and 20. He was a pretty big piece of this defense. And I don't think they're going to miss him just because of the fact that you have Nick Bolton, who's an absolute stud, taking his place. And Nick Bolton right now is just quite frankly better. But I think Anthony Hitchens was the kind of emotional leader that had a lot of pull in that locker room, and we cannot let that go unnoticed. He's a very popular guy. It's because everyone loves him because he leads by example. And even though a lot of people think that he wasn't very good in Kansas City, I think he was a damn good linebacker. I really do. I thought his time in Kansas City was overall a positive experience. But Chiefs Kingdom, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. I know a lot of people are going to say that he wasn't very good, and you're entitled to your opinion, but I think that he was just as big, if not more important than Frank Clark, who's probably going to get cut. But he was just as big as a lot of the top guys on the defense because of what he did in the locker room and what he did on the field. So, Anthony Hitchens, if you're watching this video, you're probably not, but I really do appreciate everything you did for Kansas City. 4 pretty good years in Kansas City as a linebacker when this team was hungry for good linebackers. And I don't care what anybody says, Anthony Hitchens was a good linebacker. He might not have been elite, but he was a good linebacker. So, with that being said, I appreciate Anthony Hitchens and everything that he did for Kansas City. And at the end of the day, he is a Super Bowl champion. Nobody can take that away from him. He is forever a champion, and he will forever be remembered in the Chiefs Kingdom. And with that being said, guys, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.